You know, seems like today we have a totally flattened culture, and everything is just made for everyone's approval. But sometimes it's nice. You see a movie, not just any movie, a big budget movie with a big marketing campaign, but it's actually for you and not for other people. It's a representation. Aquaman, starring 80 IQ pimp Jason Momoa, is that. This is the most important movie of the year, coming in hot at the end of the year. This is the most important film I've seen in 2018, probably my entire life. It is Black Panther for stupid guys. The plot is told in traditional stupid fashion, where they forget to introduce things. Things are just sort of. It's like, oh, hey, there's ocean goblins. Don't worry, Aquaman fucking beasts on them, and it's just so powerful. And I think that, like, you know, as in philanthropic activity, I'm going to take classes of stupid children to see Aquaman. I'm gonna take Jason.
Stupid, handsome children.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Jason Momoa to historically stupid colleges like ASU to speak. This is stupid excellence. This is the most important movie I've ever seen.
The thing is, though, and I have to be very clear about this, I make fun of men sometimes for having what I call a corny dick. But Jason Momoa is, in fact, he embiggens the corny dick in all people who are attracted to dicks. He's the male, like, Polynesian version of, like, a 2006 Tara Reid.
Yeah.
He's so dumb and beautiful and benevolent.
He's
physically perfect.
We were talking about this in the car. There's a type of face where it's like the perfect big eye to big mouth ratio.
Chrissy Teigen and Kate Upton and Jason Momoa. Yeah. Also, these people could all three of these people have like a 50-pound gain or loss weight range where they're still super hot.
And it all looks like they're permanently doing the DreamWorks face.
Yes. Yeah.
With the one eyebrow up and the smirk. Like that's their default facial expression.
It's the perfect face.
They're sexy cartoons.
Mm-hmm. We'll get into this, but Felix, you're totally right about how this movie having the quality of like trying to accomplish a task with a dumb friend, like you're trying to buy an amp from his house, and you like get to the house and he gets to his front door and he's like, oh wait, no shit, my friend Chet has my keys. We got to go to his place first. And then, like, more plots develop constantly on the course of the one plot.
It's not like Liar Guy, where it's like he sort of vaguely sets it up because he remembers he has a lie that hinges on this one thing later on. There's no dishonesty in this. This is just stupidity of being like, oh yeah, dude, I forgot. Yeah. Damn, dude, we got the fucking wet nights. So we have to fight them.
Wait, back up. We forgot to do the thing that we're supposed to do for and I think Will introduce this, and I think it's a good idea to talk about the theater experience.
Well, let's just say, hi everybody. We saw Aquaman.
Yeah.
We did, yeah.
Will is unfortunately not here.
The aquatic man.
He's off to his holiday caperings. So we're going to try to pull it all together. I guess I'm going to try to be pod dad today.
Because we're drunk.
Pod daddy.
But we just got back from seeing Aquaman at the Alamo Draft House in downtown Brooklyn. And as is traditional here, we need to start with the theater experience.
I had many cocktails.
Yeah, Amber is a fucking pro move at Alamo.
Oh God, yeah. So I I sit next to Felix because Felix doesn't drink, and so I order stuff for me and Felix, but then I just drink Felix's drink.
And that's usually Virgil often does that. But Virgil
he does, yeah, but he wasn't there.
That's
so
That's like drafting your sobriety.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right behind it.
Yeah. I realized something seeing another movie at the Draft House, and I know every time we make fun of the Draft House, people get mad at us because they're like, I appreciate an experience that I don't have to worry it's going to be marred.
I hated seeing movies in atmospheres with no rules.
Right. Well, that's the thing, is that it isn't people who claim that it's about the experience, the purity of the experience. They're lying, because one of the elements of the Draft House is that there's service happening the whole time.
Yes. Yeah.
So there are motherfuckers running in front of your face the entire time you're seeing the movie.
Yes.
You know what
and that's fine, but you can't act like your deal then is pure experience. Your deal is bossing people around.
You know what it is? It's neoliberalism, where there's a myth of a free market, But in actuality, it's about management of markets.
Yeah.
Well, don't worry. I complained to every single manager in the entire facility that they were walking in front of me while I was trying to experience Aquaman.
No, it's just I get to be the boss of this person coming and bringing me my drinks and my food, and I also get to be the boss of everyone else in the theater because if they talk, I can get them thrown out.
It's not,
That's the enjoyment
it's
of
not
it.
actually like a French theater where people like stone you in the street for sneezing in the middle of, Eyes Without a Face or whatever.
Right, because you are too cowardly to enforce that discipline on your fellow audience members. You have to outsource it to the same person who brings you
And it's
popcorn
about
and
management.
pretzel dips.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
what French people like the French Alamo draft. I was thinking how much that sucked. Somebody brings you a baguette.
Just bring you a whole pack of filterless cigarettes right in the middle of it. They're all already lit. You just have to go through them.
I can't think of a worse experience for me than going to a French movie theater. That sounds like shit.
Oh, it's so intense. They
I would like
make
you-
you pay attention.
Think about
like-
what shitty movies they watch.
I would-
Just insufferable.
I want you to go to France for just a month and just have a camera follow you around. It would rule.
I mean,
It'd be
I've
like-
already picked my European country. It's Spain. They
No, I know.
rock.
Yeah, no, you enjoy Spain. I'm saying if you went to France, you would end up
gunned down by French police.
Something
No,
like
they,
that.
they
Being
could not hit
slightly
me. They
rude.
could not hit me. You see, they've gotten one day of protests, and they're already giving up.
on that side, actually.
Yeah, so French police fucking suck. I would beast. If you're a French cop and you're listening to this, come to my apartment. I'll fucking go beast on you. You can bring your gun, pussy. What's up?
you still have to pay for the flight.
Yeah. And I might not be
He
there.
looked like he might be Algerian, and he was spitting in the street and vaping, so we shot him.
They would hate me for vaping instead of smoking cigarettes.
Hey,
but-
man.
Yeah,
for
they
vaping,
would.
yeah.
They're like, "Who the fuck do you think you are?"
Well, what were there any remember?
So,
Well, I
Aquaman.
did want to say before, my experience for the
Aquaman and
theater,
Aquaman.
is that the mall that the theater is, this 4-story high mall, is really a primary hell place of New York for me.
It's freakish. There are 2 different stores for the children of hype beasts.
Yeah, they're like fancy sneaker kid stores.
Yeah,
And they're
they
sandwiched
have
in between-
coloring books that say like J is for Jordans.
Oh god.
They're between like the Danish toy trinket store. It is.
How are you as a parent? How are you any different from Coney? You're just Coney. You're
It's
just Coney for
disgusting.
consumerism.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yes.
With a K.
And then when you get out of the movie, there's a DJ there playing.
There was a
shit.
fucking
There was a
DJ.
DJ.
It's a mall.
Yes, it's
Why does a mall need a DJ?
it's a
Yeah, tell you what, I love the mall experience, the artificial lighting, the screaming children. But you know what it's missing? Thumping beats.
Yes.
Just give me a tinny version of
like Wham hits.
or
It's
this
so
time of
bad.
year, like I saw Mama's kissing Santa Claus. Come on, we know what to expect.
Yes.
Don't give me this guy, and he's got a name too. They had a marquee, and his name was like DJ Frankie Munoz or something. I don't need to know who's spinning the beats at the mall.
It was
Okay,
really
folks,
weird.
I just want coffee flavored coffee. www.blowme.com.
It would be. That's. I mean, I think it's cool. I think it's cool to like take a video of it and say you're at a rave when you're really just buying new Sonic hair
In the
brush
Midwest,
heads.
they could easily be fooled by that. Yeah.
But this really does remind me, things like that, when I get annoyed by it, it reminds me that I really am just always 2 steps away from just being Dennis Leary. I have to stop that. That's like the Hyde.
You're
that's
afraid
gonna
of
come out.
becoming
That's-
too cool.
Yeah, that's the Mr. Hyde that's going to come out. I'm going to start smoking a cigarette
Right
around my,
upside- yeah.
Well,
back inside my head.
this
Wearing a
this
black
is- this
trench.
is
Yeah.
one of my ideas I've always thought of. What if like I came back from Christmas and my hair and clothes were exactly styled as Dennis Leary, and I just dare you to say something about it? Like I have this it's blonde highlights, just side swoop, and I'm wearing like a shitty black
You're
leather
really, you're
jacket.
really sucking on those cigarettes.
Yeah.
Like really sucking on
Yeah.
them.
I'm just daring people to say something about it.
You know what?
You
I'd-
had
It's
an-
unmistakable. I'm being Dennis Leary. It's not anything else. It
You
could
had
be
an
anything.
encyclopedic knowledge of that fucking Boston firefighters TV show he was on.
I would not say anything to you, but as soon as you were out of the room, I would say to Will or whoever was in the room, I'd say, "When did Felix get so cool?"
Yeah, exactly. Well, you guys,
I'm
you
intimidated
guys
by
try
him
to
now.
stop me because I'm going to pick up all the surplus market of pussy. Every woman's DM, they're like, "Ugh, I just can't find a guy like Dennis Leary," and they're like, "Ugh, who can?" Every woke DSA woman wants to bang Dennis Leary. He's so fucking tight. They're like, I want a guy who's maybe he's not politically correct, But he gets a little frustrated. But yeah, deep underneath that cool leather exterior, he's got a heart of gold. That would be so fun. Just like a weepy DSA guy keeps replying to a girl for a year, and then he searches through a meteor grid, and it's just all her and Dennis Leary. And he's like, oh, fuck again. Dennis Leary's fucked all these women.
Oh, God.
I think it would be funnier if it worked in the other direction. If you were just surrounded by like chain smoking 35-year-old Irish American mothers of two, just like 5'1", shaped like a water cooler, following you around, screaming at you.
The sisters from
Why
The
don't you
Fighter.
go with me to mass?
Yeah, the sisters from The Fighter.
Yeah.
So the next phase of this is trailers, right? That's what we do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the trailers were a bust. I don't give a shit
I
about
didn't
any.
think
Yeah,
that
no,
was-
they.
I was
I
like,
literally
I
like.
walked
I
on the right
almost.
and started going.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I almost wanted to leave. I was like a second away from leaving the theater, going home
Yeah.
to play Battlefield when
Yeah.
I saw the Captain Marvel trailer.
Oh,
Like I
yeah.
think I just at one point
Oh,
I just
God.
said to no one in particular, "Fucking kill yourself."
Oh, that's see, I had forgotten.
Yeah.
That's how unmemorable it was. But yeah, the Captain Marvel trailer, absolute dog shit.
There's a remake of Pet Cemetery. There's
Shit.
Oh wow, they're
The new-
remaking something from the '80s. I can't believe
the
it.
new M. Night Shyamalan joint. with
Okay,
like
hold on
all
a
his
minute.
three
Wait,
other
there's
joints.
Hold
new
on a
one?
minute.
Tell me about
That
this. I
movie
missed
rules. And I wasn't even remembering that one because I try not to watch the trailer because I think they give too much away and I don't
Yeah.
want to get spoiled.
So you're
Did you
a fan
figure
of
it
this, 'cause
out
I know
in
that
30
people-
seconds
I-
of screen time? You
this-
know what the...
This is, I think you have to be at my age and to have seen Unbreakable in the theater
That actually looked cool.
to be excited for this movie.
I
Because
saw Unbreakable. in
because
theaters, too.
Unbreakable, you watch that movie and it's like the reason people didn't like it is because it promised a movie it didn't give you, which is him being the
Unbreakable.
superhero fighting Samuel L. Jackson. It's like it just gets set up in just these post-credit little titles, not even a scene, just a title. And that's such an anticlimax that you're like, ugh. And now 20 years later, after they made Split in between and brought back,
Yeah.
if you
Mr.
saw that
Glass.
movie, at the end you find out, oh, this is the same universe as the one with Bruce Willis in it. And now they're bringing them together. This is a movie that's literally 20 years in the making. I'm very excited
Oh,
for it.
yeah.
Unbreakable fucking kicked
Yeah.
ass.
I know
saw
Split,
only
Split was really good. Did you see
Mr.
Split?
Glass.
I didn't see
See
Split.
Split. Split's good. Very looking forward to this.
Unbreakable's the only one of the initial run of Shyamalan movies I haven't seen. So I'd
I
be
saw The
prepared to like
Village
it.
with my mother, by the way, and 20 minutes in, she leans over and whispers to me, if this is set in the fucking modern day, I swear to fucking God, because she has that intense Midwestern rage where she's a very nice woman, but she's mad all the time. And then by the end of it, she's just got like steam coming out of her ears like a cartoon.
Yeah, women in the Midwest are like they're all Raylan Givens.
That's true.
They're just walking
mother is
very
just-
heavy.
My mother is just walking a column of steam, a tiny column of steam.
But well, the men are the opposite. The men are like, "Oh, I swear to God, dude, if you see me get pissed." The women are just mad all the time. It
Yeah.
rocks.
Always mad.
Yeah, they're like, they're like the Hulk.
screaming at traffic, the
My
one
secret
car
is-
in a 3-mile radius that they can see at a distance.
Yeah.
I'm always angry.
All the new Marvel movies look like you took every previous Marvel movie, put it in a blender, and poured out just a slightly smaller new serving. Of
I
it.
hate
That's
them
what it
so
is,
much.
right?
Yeah, it's bad.
Ugh,
It looks gross.
I don't know how they.
It's a salad tosser at this point.
I don't know how they made a movie as cool as Venom. The Marvel
Yes.
people.
Well, they didn't. It's not.
They
their
didn't.
house.
That wasn't Marvel.
Yeah.
Well, then let's transition into the second coolest superhero movie of this year.
It might be number one to me.
I don't know. I don't.
Venom was good, but I think this might.
All right.
I didn't get to voice my opinions on Venom on that ep, and I honestly have thought about Venom every day since we've seen it.
I've never stopped.
Yeah. Something about Venom, the goop, the design, just him going, food, comes into my mind at least once a day since then. It's the movie that stuck with me the most. It gooped me. I got gooped.
Here's the thing. I'll say just give.
Gooped on your Grinch?
It's brand new. Give Aquaman a little time to marinate.
Yeah.
To marinate.
A
as it
salt
were.
brine marinade.
Yeah.
Well, ask me in 3 months if I'm feeling more wet or more goop.
It is too bad that thanks to stupid intellectual property laws, we'll never see them come together.
Because they would be the most amazing, the wettest, goopiest superhero team. Just soaking wet.
They're very similar. They're the same type of movie, though. It's like, what if you took somebody from the real world? And it's not just any, it's like a particularly stupid member of the real world.
Yes, it's a particular dumbass.
Yeah.
Beautiful dummy.
Yeah, the same type of personality. Like Eddie Brock / Tom Hardy and Jason Momoa /
Yeah.
Aquaman have the same personality.
Also, Tom Hardy looks good fat.
Yeah, another guy.
Another guy.
Yeah, the magic face.
Yeah.
And they're half whatever the otherworldly thing is.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. This is a common superhero and really mythology thing. Like, oh, the half thing is special.
Yeah, of course.
Right. But
We all remember Blade, the Daywalker.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Blade is different, though, because Blade's cool.
Yes.
Like,
Blade's
Blade's
super
cool.
cool. I want
so
another
is
Blade.
Aquaman.
We
I don't
all-
understand what you're
we
saying.
all want another Blade.
But you know what I
movie,
mean.
though.
Like, Aquaman isn't cool in, like, a convention. Like,
No.
Blade is, like, cool in, like, how you imagine. But
And then
Aquaman
leather
is
dusters and goes to techno
Nick
raves.
had the best evaluation of Jason Momoa's oeuvre, which was that this just seems like it would be one of Jake Flores' friends, which is correct. Where it's like he's really nice. He's like, "You guys want to go tubing?" And you're like, "I do. I so do."
He literally takes a Russian naval command tubing in the first 7 minutes of this movie.
it's like fun.
Yeah, Momoa is, like, if Momoa was half God, I'd be like, I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if this was just him, like, see, the other superhero movies we get are, like, the superheroes are basically what liberals think of Obama.
Yeah.
They're just so much better than us in every way, and they're perfect because we can't. They
They're
have to be
geniuses
perfect.
and they're very clever and all that.
Yeah, and they're
Virtuous.
perfectly virtuous. But Venom and Aquaman are just fucking dolts.
Yeah.
But that's their power. And their power, because, like, if a normal person, if you go up to, like, or even smart person, or, like, the plot of this movie, the most I can boil it down is that Jason Momoa has to just get the coolest weapon ever.
Yes.
He has to get the coolest weapon ever to keep the sea from attacking the world, which
But
the
I
world kind of
thought
deserves.
he did. Yeah, no, but this is the thing that we were talking about. As soon as we figured out why they were lashing out at, like, the land people,
It's like they have a
me
point,
and Felix were immediately like,
They're-
yeah, obviously they're correct.
Yeah,
like,
right.
the land is the aggressors.
Yeah,
I would
on the
stop
sea,
the horrible
Like,
monstrous
this is
war
this
being
is
carried on.
Palestinian solidarity. There's clearly
Yeah.
someone is just responding here.
I mean, we are literally doing imperialism
Yes.
on the ocean by creating giant dead zones and huge fucking Pacific garbage
now,
patches.
Now imagine that the ocean is also full of hot people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
like
be.
Palestine.
Yeah.
I would be like Hanoi Jane for the sea.
Oh, you so
Dude, imagine just
You
boomers
just
getting.
come up sputtering. I didn't really learn how to tread water.
Imagine stupid boomers, like posting Facebook videos of them just emptying machine guns into lakes that aren't connected to oceans. They're like, "Take that, you fucking sea Muslims!" Boomers just getting shredded by awesome trident attacks. But so the plot is that he has to get the coolest weapon in the world so he can become the ocean master.
Well,
Yes, the
first
ocean
he
master.
has his mom's, which is not allowed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it breaks.
It's good, but it's not the best.
Yeah.
And he has to become the ocean master to fight a war of self-defense by the sea.
Yes.
Yeah. He has a much whiter brother.
Yeah.
Half
That he
brother.
has to fight.
Yeah, and he has
Patrick
to
Wilson.
dethrone his
That's
half
his
brother.
God, I always forget his name.
Yeah. He is that guy. He's the most
Patrick
just
Wilson.
it's just
He's not unattractive.
he's like
but
a
he's like
character.
very
he's
white.
he's like you did not spend any time on the character creator in that
yes.
video game.
I think he
You
has a
just
very-
you just
But he-
you were like fuck it, press select.
He brings a lot, though. He has a very
No, he's a pretty good
expressive
actor.
face for such
but
a
he is
white
just
man.
so white and just thumbs.
Also, wait,
which
no,
is why it's
speaking
actually
of
not
race-
that bad of a cast
speaking
as
of
He will
race-
be. He will be playing in the Chapo FYM movie. He will be playing Aaron.
But speaking of race, okay, so this movie kind of opens up like, okay, so there's a parental love story, but then it gets into present day, and they're like African American
They're-
techno pirates
Yeah.
at a laser tag field. They don't explain exactly.
They're
They're
descendants?
multi-generational.
It's multi-generational.
He works with his dad.
They're African American too.
multi-generational
They're not.
African American piracy.
They're not.
And they're descendants of betrayed troops.
That's why it's such a cool movie. Is because there's so much. It's like, yeah, there's this pirate family. Yeah, don't worry. Aquaman beats their ass.
For 10 minutes, they introduce a pirate family,
And they-
because that's not an exaggeration. They show there's a submarine.
You don't
These
know
guys
why
get on
they're
the,
mad
right.
either.
These guys get on the submarine. They massacre a room full of Russian
They're just
sailors.
unloading.
They're
clips of
resistors.
yeah.
Then the guy takes his helmet off. It's Michael Beach. The younger guy takes his helmet off. He looks like 50 Cent, but he isn't. And then Michael Beach just takes out a knife and says, "This is your grandfather's knife. He was the first great skin diver in the U.S. Navy. Yeah.
They didn't take care of him.
I think also the Navy was like the last military branch
No, it
to
was
be
the
like
first.
black people can hang out. Oh wait, they were the first.
They're the first to be
okay,
desegregated.
so they're the first.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
They were
I thought it was
always
the
they were
reverse.
always cooler. The Navy was always cooler racially and other things.
Yeah,
And the other
Certain-
the more land based.
Once we're out
they
at
just
sea,
needed dudes.
Who cares?
If you think about it, a submarine is the
No, I
world's
thought it was
biggest
the other-
steam
But
house.
Then he's like, but they forgot about. They gloss over what that means at all.
You kind of have to just from context as an American go like, oh right, he probably didn't get a job or anything because he was black and it was World War II.
And then he
But
just
they don't tell you why.
Injected him full of smallpox.
Right, they gave him a bunch
for
of
no reason.
They just were like, here's
Yeah.
we're taking care of your syphilis.
What a terrible,
I don't
terrible country. I love how that was our experiments with like we were doing mangly shit, but it wasn't even like an experiment. It's just like, all right, let's give this guy cancer to see what happens when a black guy has it. What a fucking terrible country, dude. What a awful
But
place.
so the first thing this guy says out of his mouth is to tell you that this other guy who he hasn't said a word yet is the scion of a multi-generational African American piracy business.
Which
This is why it's interesting to see this movie with normal people or people who are approaching this the way that most people are, is that people forget at this point the way that popular culture has been totally conquered by comic books, is that these things do have their basis in these incredibly intricate mythologies that most people are totally unaware of when they see the movie.
Right.
And so when something like this happens, you're like, Black Pirate Family? And somebody
no,
who
not black pirate, African American multi-generational pirate.
but
family.
someone would be there to be like, this is clearly they're setting up Black Manta, because that's a villain from the Aquaman comic
Yeah,
books. So that's where he comes from.
So that's the guy with the helmet. Where at
That's
the
the
end
guy
he has
with
the
the helmet.
helmet. He has
Yes.
the giant eye. Though no, it just looked like Black Hello Kitty with the giant eyeballs.
I liked Black Manta.
But that
I
was
thought Black Manta
Black Man.
was
He
cool.
looked cool, but that was him, and
He
he's
does
from.
not look cool in a film. He looks like Hello Kitty.
He's got big red eyes, the shoelaces.
yeah,
It's
and how
cool.
come
It
Aquaman
looks
fucking
adorable.
beasted his ass?
He looks adorable.
Aquaman basically, like, spoiler alert, Black Manta is given like basically sea Master Chief armor.
Yes.
Yes, it's very Master Chief. Yes.
Yeah, and Aquaman just fucking beast on his ass by like basically throwing battle ropes at him. It was pimp.
So the Manta family tries to take over the submarine. Aquaman shows up and just
Wrecks their
demolishes them.
Owns the shit out of them.
Takes them apart.
And Black Manta's dad tries to kill Aquaman by shooting an M203 grenade launcher at him in a room full of torpedoes. Genius, dude.
He does it twice.
Yes.
Once it doesn't work, he's like, I'll try it again, only this time I'll aim less well.
Yeah, he saw this like fucking pimp just get like a grenade blew up on him, and it was like Looney Tunes. He just is slightly charred, and he's like, pussy, and he's like, oh, I should try this again.
So Aquaman puts a torpedo on top of old Manta, which Felix said that there was a Pickle Rick sticker on the torpedo, but I did not see it.
It was styled like Pickle Rick. True fans of the Aquaman universe will know that Aquaman tried to watch Rick and Morty, but it was too intelligent for him.
And leaves him there, making Black Manta villainously pissed.
Yeah, that's what happens.
He
And then
swears-
he immediately,
Ah!
by the way, immediately develops a vendetta,
Yeah.
which makes no sense because no matter what happens in that situation, it's like you just murdered a bunch of people. You would probably be like, oh yeah, you got me. Like even if it was your dad, you're not going to be like, how dare you, sir? Like they just murdered a bunch of people.
He's a bad guy, I think is what it boils down to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
but
just
like
isn't able
bad
to-
guys are not so sentimental that they develop daddy vendettas on the fly.
I guess
Well, if
sometimes.
your dad taught you, if you were going to work with your dad, boarding ships and just killing helpless submarine
Russians.
pussies for like 20 years. I love how they were like, when they board the submarine and just kill like just a bunch of skinny fat Russians, and they act like it was the raid on Entebbe.
Yeah.
Like they're just badasses, and the dad goes, "This is your win," and it's
Yeah.
like, wow, dude, it's like when I know I'm killing children in Fortnite. It's like, wow, dude, I'm ready to. This is my win. I'm a pro.
So Aquaman saves a bunch of Russian guys by taking them on a fun
does.
tube ride.
He
no
tubes them.
tubing.
He tubes them up.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, under the sea. Aquaman's half brother.
It is very much like that.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
They ride seahorses. That's not a joke.
It's literally it's underwater Tron is the
Yeah.
Amber Heard literally had she wears classy evening wear later on, and it's literally a fish dress.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
pimp.
It's a jellyfish dress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, meanwhile, at the bottom of the sea, the kings. Oh God.
What?
The king.
Do you realize
God.
we're 0.001%
Oh,
away
God.
from
Well,
this
you gotta
movie?
set up a
so
bunch.
long.
This movie is so long and so much keeps happening. I just kept turning. I mean, I was drunk, but I just kept turning to Felix and being like, I don't know what's going on. They've introduced a new plot point.
So there's in the ocean.
I've read Melville. I couldn't follow this.
There's
Well, yeah, he wrote about the ocean too.
there's a meeting between King Orma,
Or King Orville Redenbacher.
King Orville Redenbacher.
which is Aquaman. Because remember, very first shot of the movie, Aquaman, mom Nicole Kidman washes ashore.
Yeah.
His dad,
Who has
lighthouse keeper.
turned down the plastic surgery.
Yeah.
Good for her.
She finds her on the rocks, nurses her back to health. They fall in love, have a kid. Years later, the sea monsters come for her and say, "You have to go back to the ocean, my queen." And she leaves them so that they can be together. Then he saves the Russians. Then at the bottom of the ocean, you find out that his half brother,
Patrick Wilson.
The white,
Orm.
Orm, is trying to make. He's now trying to because apparently there was an Atlantis at one point,
Yes.
and it was like we know in our
It's
our
ocean
stories.
hoteps. They're like,
Yes.
okay, so they have super technology. It's completely green. It's carbon neutral.
But then they
went too far.
technology too much.
and they
Yeah.
technology too much, and
Hubris.
Yes.
but it was it was a double-edged sword. It's like, well, bad part is our entire civilization sinks to the bottom of the ocean. But the same thing that made that happen, for some reason, gave us the ability to breathe underwater.
It's the Futurama Lost City of Atlanta plot.
but instantaneously.
yes, exactly.
Like they don't even have to go with evolution. It's like they snap your fingers, and then the people of Atlantis they settled in different parts of the
Yeah, they
ocean.
became 7 kingdoms.
Yes.
So they're all
That's a lot.
Atlanteans, but there's 7 kingdoms.
And they became
There's a
different
lot
races
of sea law
that
in this movie.
don't look, politically.
Because as they go away,
There's
they
like
sort
a
of,
sea Chinatown.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
like a sea.
basically.
Yeah.
But the first ones we meet is
Orm.
Orm, and he is trying to make an alliance with Dolph Lundgren,
Yes.
who is
his name I don't remember.
another. He's
The seahorse people.
a seahorse people whose daughter is Amber Heard,
Yes.
who was in Justice League, and I thought when we saw Justice League that he was Aquaman's girlfriend, but now I realize they had never met before, and that they still didn't know each other really at all before these movies. Which
I don't remember much of Justice League other than fighting Steppenwolf.
Did I even see Justice League?
You were there.
We were all there.
It just went
I
right
think I
through
was-
me.
Yeah, it's a bad
I
meal.
think I was
Yeah.
also drunk. We can't.
So-
we have to stop seeing all of these at Alamo because they serve very stiff drinks.
So they explain by way of talking, as often happens in these movies, to the audience.
Oh
that
my god!
They have to bring.
the expositional
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
devices are disgusting.
They have to bring. Even though these guys would presumably all know this information, they have to tell it to each other. They have to get all 7 of the kings together, right?
yeah.
And then one of them, Orm, would become then Ocean Master.
Ocean Master.
And once he has the power of
Ocean
Ocean
Master
Master,
Anthony.
he can.
All the sea
all the
friends.
sea
my
creatures come
sea
together
friends
for
are
a
here
huge
for
party.
my
Well,
birthday.
Aquaman, he's the only one with Game Master Anthony. I think it's so cool that they're all magical ocean beings, but the only one who can talk to whales is Aquaman.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
so pimp.
That's because he's the surf and turf.
Yeah,
He's just hot.
He is the Quetzalcoatl of that. Yeah. So,
This
and
is
then
just
once
the
you're the
power of
Ocean
being
Master, he
hot.
can do what he really wants to do, which is declare war on the surface world, which as
is
we have
right
all said,
and just.
is absolutely correct, and they should do.
Yes.
And they're
Hey,
obviously
we're doing
justified
bad
to do
things to
so.
the ocean.
Like if
And
they,
it's not just because there's whales there. It's like apparently there's people there and
Yeah.
we're being shitty to them.
yeah, like no, if they just keep hanging back in the cut, they're all going to be like gone.
yes.
Yeah.
They're going to be choking to death on fucking 6-pack.
Yeah. And they
Raps.
have a that comedian Randall Park on there playing the crackpot scientist,
Yes.
being like, "Look, there are people there, and they're fighting back." People are like how you and your wacky conspiracies.
This is the world where Superman exists.
Yes.
He's already been there. He's
Yeah.
died like 3 times already
So
on Earth.
Why aren't you listening to
Yeah.
him? Just consider it.
Aquaman was
It's
there the last time.
plausible.
Yes.
It's
He was
plausible.
shooting bug people with a giant trident. Yes.
There's the Aquaman.
We know there's an Aquaman. He's from Atlantis. Now don't go crazy.
Now, we can accept the possibility of some kind of aquatic man, but Atlantis?
But of course, the thing is that goes both ways because, all right, so a submarine shows up and attacks them.
This is the part that made the least sense to me because, like, I don't know, fucking Aquaman blew up that submarine and then it appears in the next scene and sabotages the meeting.
Yes.
We later learned that Orm used Black Manta to get the submarine
Even though
to
that does
purposely
not
satisfy.
It doesn't make sense at all chronologically, but who cares?
He's sabotaging his own peace meetings to get this Earth
Classic
war
Gulf
deal.
of Tonkin
Yeah.
resolution. I guess because they're on land, they're creek. I guess it would be like the peninsula of Tonkin or
Yeah,
something.
sure.
Most of this takes place underwater. We have to make this very clear.
It's extremely wet.
It's incredibly
wet.
wet. It's always like kind of flowy in front. Their hair is always
it's
a lot of
really
flying
bad.
away from their
It's
faces.
bad for someone like me who has a large forehead and really leans on the fringe. I need
Oh, yeah, I
the
wouldn't stay
bangs.
there.
I've got
Yeah.
a huge...
It's gonna keep going back
Yeah,
and forth.
everyone would know what a giant noggin I had.
So, but all right, so they're going to go to war once Orm gets all the other because he's still got other kings he's got to suborn before
He's
he
got
can
to
do it.
get the sea goblins,
The sea goblins.
the crab monsters.
By the way, there's crab monsters. There's also sea goblins who are nerds.
Yes.
Yeah, bitches.
Who are called? And this is the best part. They're called because the tribes have different names. I don't remember any of them, but I do remember the fishermen because they're the ones who look like fish.
Yes.
They're fishmen.
Fishermen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little bit of misdirection. You expect them to just be like, look like from the George Clooney boat movie.
Yes.
But
They're all in, like,
actual
yellow
fish guys.
slickers.
Yeah.
But they're actual fishmen.
Yes.
Yeah. But so almost immediately, the girl who I thought was his girlfriend and Willem Dafoe show up and say, you got to get him. You got to find the trident. You got to find the king's trident because it has the power to bring us all together. And he says, that's a myth.
Yes.
And it's like, I'm sorry, you know Atlantis exists, right? All of you people know that there is a subterranean world of humans that has existed for eons. Why are you saying that part of it can't be true? That you're saying there's an all-powerful stick with a bunch of points on the end of it? That's pretty stupid.
Yeah, it's like you literally got here by riding a big seahorse.
They do. They ride seahorses, alligators, which go way too far down.
I think they're
Like,
like
those are
supposed to be,
littoral
like,
creatures.
Dude, take an alligator to a good mechanic. You'll be able to go deep sea driving in no time. You can't just get it
They're
off
like
the rack.
pre-Cretacean
alligator.
Yeah.
thing.
And they ride whales. They ride giant seahorses. But the thing is, they don't go any faster than they would swimming because they swim super
I know.
fast.
There's no
Yeah.
reason to have a steed.
They swim at basically like subsonic
Yeah.
speeds, yet they still get in like underwater cars
Yes.
Yeah.
that take them exactly as fast as
Amber Heard's fish car rocks, though.
I have to
It was
say,
so pimp.
it's cool.
my favorite line of this is Amber Heard shows Aquaman her car, and he says, "Your fish car's sitting in chowder butter. It's gonna make me smell like swamp ass."
Yeah,
was a
that's-
line in this.
Yeah, that was really
No,
very
I'm
bad.
going to defend that. That was not Whedon-esque. There was no Whedon-esque dialogue in this movie.
That was the most Whedon-esque.
Hold on a minute,
But that-
though. He's right, though, because it's not even in the weed. It's not Whedon-y clever. It's just stupid.
It is
It's
just
dumb guy dialogue.
That's how a stupid guy would say it. It was true. It was true representation. Like if it was Whedon, he'd be like, "Oh, it looks like your vehicle is actually in the fish section of the aisle," and she would go, "Oh yeah, well then it should fit perfect with you, judging by how you're smelling." And I'd be like, "Oh wait, you could smell me even though I'm of land," and she'll be like, yeah, even I haven't thought about that." And then Joss Whedon would get me too'd in the middle of writing.
You're right. Saying I'm gonna smell like butt is the right.
Right,
move.
right. Jason Momoa just going like, "Damn, I'm gonna smell nasty as fuck," and then she's like, "You already smell bad." And he's like, "Fuck, damn, I hate being stupid. Damn, I woke up stupid again."
So Orm throws all the garbage onto the land.
He does, which
is
fair.
rules.
That's, by the way, literally a classic strike move. In New York City, the sanitation workers would dump the garbage on the wealthy people's homes to be like, "Look, we cannot our neighborhoods are filthy. We cannot pay our rent. You're not paying us enough. So guess what? You take care of the fucking garbage.
Yeah. And so everything we just put in the ocean, they throw up, and it's like that. Am I
Fair.
supposed to think that
I agree.
they're doing the bad
Absolutely
thing?
fair.
If they had that power, they should use it by
It's
now.
like the
For fuck's
70s,
sake.
Yeah, no, it's the 70s sanitation strikes
Yeah.
in New York
Like
City.
there's a
They're
continent.
completely justified.
There's a continent of plastic in the Pacific Ocean.
yeah.
You don't think if there was like a sentient civilization down there, they would have their right to be like, this is an attack on us?
And that makes Jason Momoa pissed.
He's pissed
Right.
He gets pissed.
He's
because
pissed.
he's of the land too. Is the
Yes.
thing about
Yeah.
him?
He's a comprador.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
He's
he
an
really is.
absolute. He's a sexy comprador.
He's basically the guy that the land sends to the sea to compromise them and make them lose their revolutionary edge and forget
Yes.
why they're fighting for
Yup.
it.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a sellout.
And then he goes to find the Trident, which
goes
is
to find the
middle
coolest weapon in the
hour and a
world.
half of this movie.
That's
right.
most of it.
And then somehow, Willem Dafoe is. I'm always happy to see Willem Dafoe. He's one of these people, like Giamatti, that I am happy to see in any movie,
Yeah,
no
absolutely.
matter what.
Yep.
He's got a weird face and a square head and strange teeth.
Now he got me wishing that there was a Giamatti
Oh
out of
my
Seahorse.
God, he'd be so good at it.
Ah, great.
As one,
That's just great. My fucking
fucking great.
seahorse just threw a shoe.
he should have been one of the mer people.
Yeah.
Giamatti
yeah.
He would
merman.
have been the
He
fisherman.
would have been perfect as the fish guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the guy's like, we don't want to go
Or-
to war with the humans. We just want to teach them.
Or a civilian oceanologist
Yeah.
trying
Oh my God,
to
yeah.
be like,
There's Atlantis out there. You gotta listen to me. God damn it.
That's basically his role in San Andreas. Have
Yes.
you seen that movie?
yeah.
That movie rules.
It's
He's
great.
really, he's really good at being the person who knows what's going on that no one listens to.
Yeah. So it's got Willem Dafoe as he is
Willem Dafoe, who has a
Orms.
top knot.
Orms.
Also, huge big dick energy. I've talked about this
Willem
with Felix.
Dafoe is a giant
Well,
cock.
we all
Dafoe
know-
has a giant hog. I don't know how we aren't. It's like a too big hog.
That's what they say.
It's too much.
That's what they say.
It's and there's that footage of it from Lars von Trier.
No, that's not him.
That's not him.
That
The
dude's a
story-
stunt one.
That's the thing.
That's
the
the
story is that that's not his dick in.
No. I've seen that's the thing is that like you can find like the test shots.
Oh,
of it.
really?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
And
This I did
Lars
not
von
know.
Trier was so disturbed
Right,
by
yeah.
the
It's
size
too big.
of which to be honest, it's like it is too much.
So you saw
it's it's too much. It's too much soft. So you can only
Jesus.
it's
Soft
you know what
BTW.
you know what it is? It's ostentatious.
Yeah.
I'm sick of these fucking Hollywood liberals just rubbing our faces in it. These limousine liberals who preach higher taxes but have huge, flaccid 12-inch hogs. I'm so
after-
sick of it, dude.
After having seen like this clip of this test footage that never got used for the film, I guess I'm like, you know what? He can be in literally any movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. You can
know,
have a
it's-
top knot
yeah.
Willem Dafoe playing an
he's the
ocean
Vizier.
man.
He's an ocean Vizier.
Yeah, like
he's
Willem
the
Dafoe-
Vizier.
He's such a pimp because it's like a lot of times when I see like real actors in
Giant
these,
ass teeth.
when I see like real actors in these movies, I'm like, do they get embarrassed? With like Willem Dafoe, if he's just waking up every day and he's literally like
Dragging that out of
Yeah,
bed.
he's like, hold on, I need to get some fucking Velcro tape so my dick doesn't flop around when I like go to the store. It'd be like he could play Garfield and not feel any embarrassment. He's just like a live action Garfield starring him, and he'd be like, yeah, whatever.
when
like
you
12
I have
inches
to
soft.
put my
When
fucking
you
cock
have-
over my shoulder every morning.
when you have a disability sized dick,
Yeah.
then you can be in a Pixar movie
Yeah.
and feel no shame
Yeah.
whatsoever.
He's the Vizier. He's Orm's Vizier, but he
Yes.
also did swore an oath to Nicole Kidman to raise
Yeah.
Arthur
To be a vicarious
Aqua.
daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Because he's
there's
daddy, as
there's
we all
scenes
know.
of him training him in the art of the trident.
Yes.
Saying
Yeah.
one day you will become the king of the Atlanteans.
And you will be able to spin your
training a
trident.
6'2", 14-year-old Polynesian child.
That kid rocked. That's the only kid bigger than Barron. Was the kid they had playing young Jason Momoa. That was like because he had like boy face, but he's like 6'7".
But he's so much bigger.
His biceps are bigger than mine have ever been.
No, that kid was
Holy
gigantic.
shit.
They're like bigger than my thighs, and he's prepubescent.
Yeah, he's that kid is fucking just 400 pounds, 7% body fat, and he's like, "Fuck, I'll go. I hope I get done filming this before I start 8th grade."
you
It's
know,
like, what
he's
the fuck?
He's just eating poi.
Yeah,
Like, it's
yeah.
not even-
So first he gets caught and and there's a challenge. They challenge him. He challenges him. Orm catches him while he's hanging around in the bottom of Atlantis with
an empty galleon.
In an empty galleon with Willem Dafoe and Amber Heard, but they don't know she's there. They just catch him, and then he basically goads him into challenging him into the ancient. This is basically from Black Panther. The thing of like the king can be challenged by anyone, and then whoever wins is the king, which I always love because this is another civilization with like far advanced technology of ours.
Yes,
they have
basically
infinite
space age like. Yes.
Yeah, they have infinite energy, some sort of fusion stuff, but they also have an absolute monarchy whose winner is determined by a physical fight.
Well, that's also the UK.
That's true. No one has
like
pinned the Queen of England in 60 years.
Right. Jeremy Corbyn can't even beat her ass.
No, he wouldn't even try. He's smarter.
She's so strong, dude.
All those bloody melts keep telling
powerful.
him, Jeremy, challenge her. Why don't you challenge the queen to a bloody match? And she's like, you idiots all could pin her in a million years.
She has so many tentacles.
Yeah. So
Oliver Cromwell was the last person to beat up a king.
it's true.
Queen.
Snapped his head right off. Boom. So they fight, and because he doesn't know the ways of the sea yet, he's defeated.
He's too much land.
He doesn't know about ocean MMA.
That basically
all
is
the
it.
good pins.
He's too much turf, not enough surf.
Yes.
And as he's about to be he's going to get killed, Amber Heard swoops in her fish car, and rescues him. And then she escapes Atlantis, and then they go on the quest to find the trident, which takes them first to the Sahara, which at one time was an ocean.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's apparently one of the seven tribes.
That's so was Indiana.
The thing is, they never tell you the time frame for any of this.
Yeah.
At the time of Atlantis, one of the groups of people went to this place that was the Sahara, and then it dried up, and they apparently hung around and died. It just like flopped around.
To be fair, that is what
Literally
we're doing.
fish on the.
Correct. Yeah, those idiots.
No, I'm doing great.
Sitting there while their fucking environment collapses around them.
I
Those
got all kind of
morons.
water. I got all kind of water.
I
I got LaCroix right here, motherfucker.
But it involves them
Fine.
coming ashore in North Africa, in their aqua garb, to the sounds of Pitbull's cover of Africa.
And
which is one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
It's amazing.
No, but it's perfect because Pitbull is the perfect,
he's perfect.
dumb guy jam.
Oh,
That's why
absolutely.
I'm not
love
laughing because it's
Pitbull.
bad or it's a stupid.
Doesn't
I'm laughing
everyone love Pitbull?
I'm laughing because it's an apotheosis.
Yeah,
it's like
it's
this
great.
has to be this moment. Right
Oh,
now.
in that song, we only hear like 13 seconds of Pitbull rapping, but in the 13 seconds, he goes, "I'm the real Great Gatsby." Like, another
A book he definitely read.
Lights Camera actually talked about this, but it is like the same type of thing as like saying you're the real Great Gatsby is just like you didn't read that book. Did you?
Yeah,
Like,
also, it's like, even if you did, it's a 7th grade girl book.
But
even that, it's like he's not a cool guy you want to be. Like,
No.
what?
But that's how stupid these people are. These are the same people who have a poster of Tony Montana on their wall because
Right.
everything worked out great for him in a movie. You don't even have to like read the subtext but in Fitzgerald. But maybe he's not too happy at these parties. It's like the movie of Tony Montana. He had some cocaine. He looked really pretty miserable, and then he got murdered.
Yes.
And you're like, this is my guy.
What is Pitbull's like green light? Who's his Daisy? Is it just like, oh, this club promoter offered like a cruise concert in 2002, but I lost his number because I accidentally threw my Motorola Razr in a washing machine. So I put my green light out on my condo in Miami every night because I think it would be really cool to do a cruise ship concert. That would be pimp. That's his Daisy.
I love
Like,
the
how
idea,
are you Gatsby?
I love the idea of Pitbull pretending to be a producer / DJ to like win somebody over, and then the producer DJ thing like goes way too far and takes off. He's like, oh shit, now I got to do this.
I got to do this every day of my life now. Fuck.
My one critique of this movie is that it's not more like this scene. That it didn't lean more into like I missed kind of the.
So you wanted more Momoa in a sleeveless T-shirt, but also a vest.
yes, less sleeves.
Yeah.
because he wore a sleeveless T-shirt with a vest.
Yes, his torso is really cold. His arms are really hot.
He's like handsome that it doesn't matter how awful everything about him
No,
is.
I found-
And like nice. Like you get the vibe he's a nice person.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's
Oh, yeah.
just so weirdly likable.
Well, that's
like,
the
in
thing.
this
We
way
were
that
talking
no
about
one
this, like,
is.
When it
Him and
comes to
Lisa
hot
Bonet
guys-
probably have great barbecues.
Oh my
They're
god.
just
comes
like really attractive together.
He probably like he fucking like just snowboards down his gravel street. And no one's like, don't do that, Jason. They're like, you the man, dude. It was like, dude, I'm so against superhero movies, and I'm so against like fucking traveling 3 hours south on rush hour. Like I should be geared to hate this more than anything. But all this movie took was like 30 minutes of Jason Momoa, and I was
Yeah.
literally like, "You the man, Jason." What? Like when he was fighting, fucking
Pure charisma.
yeah, when he was fighting, like towards the end of the movie, I was like, "Yo, beat this pussy's ass, dude! You the man!" I was like, he could say, if you could like fucking ML pill Jason Momoa,
Oh,
this
yeah.
solves all the world's problems.
No, Aquaman's Torah portion was "Gimme 3 Steps" by Leonard Skinner.
he's just
great.
He's the perfect
It's like
man.
nice. You love. He wants to go tubing with
What
you.
it is
He's
it's the
the
perfect.
man.
It's
If
the
you get a flat, he's gonna fix it.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
dumb as shit. He's just
That's the
really
thing.
nice.
It's like these guys. There's a continuum with the attractive leading men, where if they're too dumb, they lose their charisma and they're just flat behind the eyes and they're
Yes.
just like mannequins. And then if they get too smart, they're a little too self-aware, and then you're kind of like, well, you're making fun of this too. Why should I be watching this if you're not taking
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
seriously? With him, you get the perfect thing of he's smart enough to not be totally just a zero, but he is still so stupid that he's totally into being Aquaman
yeah,
in
yeah.
every
And-
moment.
and you
Completely
know how
benevolent.
You know how powerful Jason Momoa is? Because of chemtrails and SSRIs in the drinking water.
Sure.
In the past 15 years, every man that women want to fuck, they just look like a slightly pedophilic British army officer from World War I. It's like
Oh,
Benedict
Your
Cumberbatch
Tom
or
Hiddleston.
someone.
Yeah, they all
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
have sex with
Yeah.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, just this-
Whereas the
this-
healthiest of us who have been drinking LaCroix and not tap water want Jason Momoa to run us over with a car.
But right, even women affected by chemtrails and chemicals in the drinking water just want to get their fallopian tubes absolutely vaporized by Jason Momoa. They see him
His
and
aqua seed.
it breaks through fucking generations of Federal Reserve brainwashing where they're told that they want to bang guys who are just one step off from looking like Steve Mnuchin. And they see Jason Momoa and it just clears the fog.
Yeah, exactly. It's a cleanse.
He's the
a
legendary
cleanse.
Chad.
He's a lighthouse.
Yeah,
He is. Yeah.
he's like the eternal Chad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is. That's true. He is the
Yes.
eternal Chad.
The
He's like-
Polynesian Chad.
You could probably trace Momoa's bloodline to like Tamerlane, Genghis Khan, like
All the
Nebuchadnezzar.
Chads. All of history's
yeah.
greatest Chads.
Yes.
the great Chads of history. Yeah.
Saladin, everyone. They all run through him.
The greatest Chad line.
There's some.
Yeah.
You got some Julius Caesar in there. All
Yeah,
the Chads.
100%.
Speaking of Julius Caesar, he identifies a Roman king.
Yeah,
That's the funniest part.
Oh
Yeah,
my
this-
God.
So during the
go on.
during the Trident quest, like he has to solve
So many
riddles.
quests. This is
He has to
this is
solve
a
a
movie.
riddle.
This is a movie of mini quests.
Yeah, it is.
It's the Skyrim movie.
It is.
But it's like there's a part where like
He's gotta solve a riddle.
Right. It's like you have to put this glass thing that's actually more like a kaleidoscope. You have to put it in the hand of a true king.
It's a magic
And
It's
he's-
a bottle.
They're in Sicily, and there's like a bunch of Roman statues around. And for some reason, and I think this is poorly done though, because the character is supposed to be stupid. Like there are repeated instances of it being explained that he's stupid. But when he's like, oh, Scipio wasn't a true king.
Right.
He
Yeah,
turns
no.
into Matt Christman.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah, he's mad in front of the R.L. Burnside statue in Rhode Island.
actually, Scipio was not a king. And these were emperors. They're not technically kings.
I just love the
Yeah,
idea of
that's what it was,
Jason Momoa seeing the Ambrose Burnside statue and be like, oh, that dude fucking sucked. I hate him.
But I kind of like that because isn't that an element of being the dumb guy thing of also thinking you're really smart at the same time?
That's true.
Like you
Sure.
have something
Well,
that like is you keep in your back pocket, and that's sort of the talisman of your intelligence.
Yeah.
And you don't have
Being
anything else, but you have that.
multilingual.
and you did it for adult. You're like, damn, I wanted to fuck one of those bitches who was into history. Like something stupid.
Being multilingual was supposed to be his saving grace,
Oh,
but
yes.
like I've known a lot of hot dumb guys that speak more than one language just by virtue of being from like of having parents from multiple countries.
That is a
That's
hot.
a
That,
cheat.
that is a
Like
hot
if you
guy.
learn it when you're 2, it doesn't mean you're smart.
That is a hot guy thing of like, yeah. So their dad had some like fucking cool job that makes no. Yeah. So my dad, he sold tents to circuses. So we lived in a lot of different countries, and my mom
And I
my
speak
mo-
Swahili. It's fine. It's not weird.
My mom was an international mail carrier. It's like, oh yeah, okay, cool, you're cool, dude. So you also have like this cool conversation. Always the hottest like men are like, yeah. So like I went to airplane homeschool.
I went to school on a blimp.
Yeah, it's like fuck off, dude. Is there any part of your life that's like mundane? Go fuck. It's the hottest guy. Like that's like the highest level of being a hot dude.
Thinking about this, him putting the bottle in the Roman king's hand scene. How many scenes in this movie were ended by somebody realizing something and then immediately an explosion going off right next to
Oh
them?
my god,
That's
At
what
least
it is.
3, right?
That's what it's like when a stupid guy learns,
happens
though.
Yeah.
When you solve a problem.
Yes.
That's what happens when you finish the test.
It was like the movie trying to train its protagonist to not solve problems.
Like, no,
bad.
Yeah.
You are almost out of space.
I mean, it's the video game logic. It's
Yeah.
it's like if you hang around one of the areas long enough, someone's going to show up.
Yeah.
We're missing a serious element of this movie, though, where both his mother and his love interest are subjected to a patriarchal lineage of royalty.
Yes.
So he's like there are definitely like at least 5 times in the movie where I leaned over to I drink a lot. Where I leaned over to Felix and I was like, actually, the real sea monster is patriarchy.
Yes.
But like that was like a thing that kept happening over.
Oh, no,
and
it's true.
over
They keep
and
being-
It was laid on very thick.
I mean, she flees. The reason that Nicole Kidman in the first place flees to the land is because she's fleeing an arranged marriage she doesn't want to go to. Then she goes back to the
And she
ocean,
wants to-
where she's forced basically to marry
and to give
The
birth.
Mary
and to
guy,
give birth,
to give
and then-
birth
and
to
then-
this very white child
executed
Yes.
by being
Which-
thrown into the
the
into
trench.
the
into the
trench,
secret ocean.
into the secret ocean.
Secret ocean.
Spoiler alert: she isn't dead. But if you thought she was dead, you had to have your parents bring you to this fucking movie because
Yeah,
you are a moron.
They held your hand.
Yeah. And then the same thing with Amber Heard. Amber Heard is supposed to marry Orm, even though she doesn't love him.
Yes.
It's like the women are expected to just be subordinate on this lineage.
Can you
It's very
imagine
brutal.
moaning that during sex?
Yeah.
The folks, the masculinity is still toxic
It's-
underwater.
It's
Super.
very toxic.
It's
Yeah.
super. Yeah,
Yeah.
the mercury levels are off the chain.
That's why you can't eat the big
It's been
fish.
building up. The toxic
It's full of
masculinity has
patri-
been building up
It's
in
full
the
of
food chain.
patriarchy.
So
yeah.
there's a good action scene where the black man shows up because he got extra technology from Orm, which gave him the ability to, in a kind of a cool montage, to create his own big ass helmet that shoots lasers
Yeah.
out of it, and he attacks Aquaman. They fight over in this Sicilian town.
I think big missed opportunity to do some good Italian jokes in here. Like they keep crashing through the rooms in all these villas.
That's
and I think
true.
that like it should have
Yeah.
been just scene after scene of like women stomping on buckets of grapes,
Yes.
the guy
Yeah.
making
Yeah.
pasta,
A guy throwing pizza in the air and
dough.
go, "What's the matter with you?
Yeah, exactly.
You ruined my baguette."
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And the same Amber Heard is fighting off like his henchmen, and at one point she kills them with wine sickles.
Yes.
She
Yeah.
throws.
Oh, she's a
she-
water
'cause
kinetic.
she
Yeah,
could-
don't
yeah,
talk
she-
to me before I've had my Merlot.
She's water kinetic. She can move water, so she's in a wine shop and she just
Kills them
collects
with
all
wine.
of the wine from the bottles and turns it into like water sickles and stabs these guys
Yeah.
with it, which is pretty
That
cool.
was,
It was
but,
cool.
dude. During that scene, I thought I was gonna get thrown out of the theater when he's fighting Manta,
Yeah.
because I was just like, "Yeah, dude, you the man!"
Yes.
Like I was just so into. I haven't been that into a fight since the last time John Jones fought.
It's a good fight. It's solid.
it's fucking awesome.
Considering how goofy it is, it has a real physicality to
Yeah.
it. Especially when Black Manta gets killed.
He's not dead though. He's gonna come back.
Yo, yeah,
He's
yeah.
gonna come back.
How could he come back?
Also,
If he comes back, there's like a 20-minute sequence of him falling
It's
down.
like Homer falling down
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
door.
well,
His
guess what?
head
Did
gets-
Homer die?
His head keeps. There's a camera like inside the helmet getting crushed.
Yeah.
Over and over again.
It's
as
pretty
he's
bad.
He's
falling.
gonna come back with no head.
He gets like stone garroted by
Yeah.
a stone.
The
chain.
way that Aquaman killed him was so pimp.
Yeah, it was great. I like Black Manta. I hope I see more of him.
I don't
He's
think
gonna
he will,
come back.
man.
I know
He
these
was
movies.
okay, but honestly, we saw him in the first 10 minutes of the movie, and then the final 15. He was really insane.
Well, that's the classic.
Well, but there were several scenes where he like meets Orm.
yeah.
And Orm's like,
Orm.
you asked him 2 times to kill Aquaman, and he's like, we'll give you a bunch of
And he's like, hey,
he's like,
idiots.
I'll do it for free. And they're
And
like,
it's like, you know,
oh,
you
okay,
can just
man.
take the money
Yeah.
then.
Yeah,
I'll
Orm-
take even less.
I like how Orm just
Talking
doesn't.
himself down.
Orm just doesn't give a shit about Black Manta's storyline. He's
like,
in
I will
it.
do it for myself, whatever it is.
They're like,
Whatever.
What did he kill? You
literally
killed like
don't
your
care
friend
about
or
your daddy
something
issues at all.
Yeah.
They're like Orm literally gives him like because he was fucking Aquaman up a little bit. He gives him like better weapons than he has.
Yeah.
He had to have known that he wasn't going to get the job done because he gives him like the literal best armor and weapons on Earth, better than anything any underwater soldier
You can turn
has.
like water into lasers.
Yeah,
Yes.
and he just spends the whole time being like, by the way, you don't have to pay me.
Yes.
And he's like, yeah, you've said that every time
I
I've
still
seen
give
you.
you,
Yeah, whatever, dude.
Well, he gets his head caved in.
Yes.
He just gets
he's an
owned.
honorable pirate or something.
And then they fall into the ocean and they go to the secret core of the Earth, which is at the bottom of the trench.
Which has an extra ocean.
When they fight all the sea monster people going down, that's a pretty cool sequence.
Yeah, that was good.
The flare thing,
I
that was fucking
anti.
good.
Yeah, that was good.
Why were they scared of the fire?
Because
They
they're
live
deep
in the
sea
dark.
monsters.
Yeah.
They never see light.
Yeah, they live in the
That's
deep.
dumb though, because
That's
as
awesome.
anyone who watches fucking David Attenborough knows, the sea is full of volcanoes.
You know,
That's
they stay
different,
away
though.
from them.
Yeah.
There are literally calderas of volcanoes
stay away from
where
the
there are
calderas.
sharks that live there.
You know what?
Volcano
This
sharks.
movie is like we've talked about how important this movie is for some people. It'd be nice if
Yeah. Respect.
I'm
people,
sorry.
you
I'm
You know,
sorry.
Representation is important.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
they go down through all the sea monsters and go through some maelstrom in the middle of the ocean.
Into the core of the Earth, which is a dinosaur land.
And it literally
They're
has a
dinosaurs.
yeah,
There's
it literally
dinosaurs.
has a title on the bottom of the screen that says "The Secret Ocean dash Center of the Earth."
Yeah.
Dinosaur shit, yo.
And Amber Heard got pulled out by someone wearing like the bones of one of the gill monsters.
Yes.
And turns out it's Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
And if you did not see that coming, honestly, as I said, check yourself into a home. You should not be
Yes.
living alone.
That's why I think that Manta's still alive. By the way,
Yeah. He's in the Secret Ocean, becoming more powerful.
Yeah,
Right.
Becoming Bone Manta. the
Right.
second
Yeah.
skin.
No, I mean I can't wait until there's another one of these movies and some Dundalk guy writes the fucking super titles and they're like the secret ocean.
No, it's even deeper than the Secret Ocean.
So they've got Oscar-winning actress Nicole Kidman dressed up like the Predator, and she's just. And this thing is, it's not like they're kind of hide it where it's like the shots are just her head, or it's no. There's full shots where she's just standing on a beach dressed like the Predator.
Yes.
Full,
Yeah,
head
they
to toe.
gave her
And
the
I'm just thinking, like, what are you? She's like a 55-year-old woman or something like this. I don't know, 50.
It's at least probably.
She's probably at
Oscar
least
winner.
50,
Oscar
yeah.
winner. Multi-millionaire.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why?
So this is a passion project.
Yes.
But that's the thing. Why?
It's just
what
fun.
in her life led her to be like, yeah, I'm gonna just stand like a predator in the beach here?
It's fun.
cool
Also,
to be
though,
in
to
a
be
superhero
fair, though,
movie.
having bleached the shit out of nearly black hair, that's just what your hair looks like when it's wet.
I mean, it's not like I'm saying she's too good for it. She's not that great of an actress, but
She's not.
she doesn't need to be dressed like the predator on a beach. Is
Like,
what I'm
I'm
saying.
just proud of her for turning down the work. Like the facial work, I mean, because for a while there,
Yeah,
woo,
she was getting to Catherine Hellman in Brazil territory.
She was actually, she looked like the Predator in the face.
Yeah. So she tells him, yeah, I've been living down here for 20 years.
Can't get out.
Can't get out because the thing that Brett Udod came down here only happens if you have the trident.
Yes. Or you can't get out if you don't.
Oh,
do
right.
the
You
triangle.
get in, but you can't get out. And so there's this massive tentacle monster.
It's a Cthulhu, basically.
It's a Cthulhu that guards the trident. And he has to go down, and she has never been able to defeat it because it's
Yeah.
too powerful. And so, but if he's the true king of Atlantis, he can do it. And of course, he has a moment of doubt because he's the hero.
Yeah.
He has a moment of doubt. I don't know. Can I do? I'm just some regular dumbass. I'm really dumb. Yo, mom, you might not know this because you saw him when I was 6. You might thought he might get smarter. I did not get any smarter.
You didn't see the montage where I like drinking beer.
Yeah, I'm just dumb as shit. I'm still dumb as shit. I can't control the earth and the sea.
I like how basically throughout this entire movie, people keep telling him he's the king, and he's like, "No, I have no king skills."
Yeah.
And then at the end, he gets the
Okay.
trident, and he's like, well, I guess by virtue of having this trident,
Yeah,
I
by-
do have king skills.
By the virtue of me going beast, I'm ready to do
Well,
this.
the thing is that the way she convinces him to take it is she just is like the fact that you don't want it, and the fact that you don't think you have it, the fact that you think that you don't belong either place, that's what makes you the real one, because you belong everywhere, because you're going to bring them all together.
Your very dumbness gives you strength.
And then he goes on to fight this Cthulhu that has this lady's voice, and it's got the giant tentacles. It's like, who do you think you are? And he's like, I'm just some piece of shit. And she's
I'm
like,
stupid as shit, lady.
that's what he does.
Yeah.
She's like, why shouldn't I crush you with this giant tentacle? And his answer is, I'm a fucking dumbass.
Yeah.
And she's
Dumb
like,
as hell.
Nobody said
Well,
that.
yeah,
one
because
before.
everyone from the sea civilizations is like they're pedophilic British officers.
Yes.
They're like, I could command all the graded flora and fauna of the ocean, and she's like, fuck off.
Yeah.
But he just shows up and he's like, I honestly didn't even want to fucking come here today. This shit sucks. You fucking kill me right now. I literally don't fucking care.
that's basically
Yeah.
what
Which
he
is
says.
how we should choose the president.
Yes.
Absolutely.
No,
That's
dude,
why
I want
Bob-
to be the president.
Yeah.
So then he
Okay,
grabs.
but I'm sorry. You know who the Cthulhu voice was,
No,
right?
I want to know.
No.
So you know it's a British actress.
Yeah. Duty Dench,
No.
though. Duty
Maggie
Jet.
Smith,
Duty
Oh.
Dench.
Mira. Wait a minute.
Think
Helen
older.
Mirren.
Think older.
Older? The Queen Elizabeth.
The Queen of Islam is what you almost
Queen of
said.
Islam. One day she will be.
Once we Brexit.
Yeah, what's Brexit? Yeah, massive Muhammad. It's happening.
Older than fucking Maggie Smith. My God.
Julie motherfucking Andrews.
No.
Mary Poppins was the voice of the seagull.
Hell yeah.
No
Wow.
way.
Also,
That's
I
amazing.
love that bitch, so I am 100% on board with that casting decision.
She's the nanny of the trident.
Yeah.
And so she gives it over to him.
Yeah.
And he gets it, and that allows for what is an insane thing. And
it
honestly,
doesn't make any sense.
it's so insane, but it's like there was a fucking Marvel movie that came out a few years ago called Captain America Civil War that a lot of people said was great. We talked about how Devin Faraci said it was one of the best movies he'd ever seen. And how a lot of people,
Alamo Draft House's best, Devin Faraci.
and a lot of people will to this day tell you that is the superhero comic book movie at its best. The big fight scene in that movie takes place in a deserted food court at an airport.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Basically, yes.
This is a 20-minute fight scene, all underwater, deep sea, between crab monsters and men, both fishmen and Atlantis men,
Fishmen?
riding crocodiles and sharks
Sharks, and I cannot
the
stress this
seahorse
enough,
things.
with lasers on
with
them.
lasers.
Yeah.
It took 20 years almost to the day.
Yeah, of
but
course.
Hollywood finally put sharks on lasers. And when it first was mentioned, it was as a joke, but we have come so far into the Hollywood stupidity is that when
Mm-hmm.
it finally came around, it's like, no, actually, that's
Actually,
cool.
this is cool.
It's cool. It's
This
actually
isn't
cool to
stupid.
put.
This is actually cool
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
And there's like
It's
there-
Austin Powers, but real.
Yeah, we decided
There's
that
like-
that was.
We're like, that's a good
there's
concept.
like
Let's
it's
go
like
with that.
there's giant crabs throwing magma rocks at each other, huge manta rays with ships on them somehow. And then in the middle of this fight, because Orm has to subdue the last recalcitrant
The Crab King.
Crab King, who is like, "Fuck you, buddy. I am not going to call you
Cool.
Ocean
He
Master."
basically says, you can take my life, but you cannot have my freedom.
Yeah. He's like, you can take my armies, but I will never call you Ocean Master, bitch. And then Aquaman, in the middle of this fight, comes off from the bottom of the ocean on the head of the Julie
Kraken.
Andrews
Yeah.
Kraken and just basically kills 5 billion people.
Yes.
yeah.
That's the thing. This is an insanely bloody battle. I mean,
Yes.
you're talking about all the fish that we have.
Yes.
Like, if this
Yeah,
actually
'cause there was
happened...
another great sequence where as soon as he touches the trident, it shows him being psychically linked to
every
literally
animal,
every fish.
every fish on
Yeah.
Earth.
He gains the power of
Everyone.
fish.
And so when he comes to battle, he brings with him just this giant army of fish that attack all the other guys. And if this battle actually happened the next day, if you went to a sushi restaurant and you wanted to get like a fucking, a 2-roll combo for lunch, it would be $5,000
Yes, because the fish are dead.
because the fish are
Yeah.
gone.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so they're all fighting. And then, of course, even though roughly 7 billion people and fish die, it ended up being a battle 1-on-1
Yes.
between Orm and Aquaman. Who, by the way, is now wearing fine. He's no longer wearing dungarees.
He's
We missed
wearing,
this point
he's
at the
wearing the
beginning.
comic book.
Yeah.
When we first see Aquaman, he is rescuing this nuclear submarine wearing jeans.
And a
Yeah.
wallet chain.
Yes.
It's
Because he
fine.
took his wallet into
It's-
the ocean.
Fine. Because we decided that he's one of those guys, because he has a top knot a lot of the time. He's one of those guys that has the card where you get the punch and you get 10 of them and then you get a free coffee. And he has like 50 of those cards.
He's like, look,
He's
if I
a
stop,
coffee shop
if
guy.
I stop for a coffee on the way back, I'm gonna want that punch. And then he
Yeah.
gets to the coffee shop and opens his wallet, and they're all wet.
Yeah,
And he's
they're
like,
all
oh,
wet.
raspberries.
Yeah.
He definitely has a Subway Club card.
Yes.
So yeah, he trades in his dungarees and sleeveless shirt and vest and wallet
He
chain
goes
for
comic book
the
Aquaman.
iconic little green shorts and the chain
Green and
mail.
gold. Green and gold.
The gold chainmail.
Yeah.
And finally, for the first time, by the way, a fucking trident that's actually a trident.
Yes.
Because this is also true in the comic books, apparently, but his trident has 5 fucking points on it, which
pendant.
annoys me. This
Shout out to brave trident warrior Shanti Collins, who has been fighting this battle
Yeah.
online for literally years.
When he finally gets the good tridents, the magical trident, the one that allows him to talk to all the fish. It's got 3.
Yeah.
And him and Patrick Wilson, they're fighting.
They're fighting.
They're fighting. And this, for the first time, they're not in the water. They're
No.
they're on,
Yeah,
they're
which
on
is
the
hard for
on
Patrick
land,
Wilson.
though. They're on ship.
they're on the end of
ocean.
They're on the top of one of the ships.
I guess. Yeah.
Because why would you have? No. Why would you have ships? You can You can go as fast.
It would have been
It's
cooler.
totally. And by the way,
honestly.
where are you manufacturing these ships?
No, it would have been cooler on a beach because then you would have had like the
Yeah.
waves coming
Yeah.
in and splashing.
But where are
on
they
a beach on the
manufacturing?
side of a mountain so you can see the land
yeah,
going into the
like
side?
the White
Where-
Cliffs of Dover.
sure.
With
Where are they
crashing
manufacturing the fucking ships?
Can you forge advanced metals underwater? I don't
In
know if that's
the-
I mean,
yeah,
the volcano
no, because they've got
thing.
the volcano, so they can smelt.
I guess are there underwater mines? How would the water not get in?
Why
Ugh.
would you? What do you need to keep out?
Yeah. So they fight, and of course, Aquaman wins.
shatters the other guy's trident.
Destroys
just
him.
destroys his piece of shit trident.
Wrecks his dick.
him.
Wrecks
Yeah.
his dick.
Yeah.
And of course, in the classic tradition, Orb says, "Kill me," and he says, "I'm not
Yeah,
going to kill you."
because he's honorable.
Yeah.
Is that even though you directly led to the death of half of the things in the water,
All those crab
Cartoons
monsters.
all those crab monsters, all the Atlanteans,
Yes.
Yeah.
all the fish guys,
Yeah.
and then all the regular fish.
Which
still.
apparently we're supposed to care about as much as people
Yeah.
now.
But still, he gets house arrest after doing all that.
Yeah.
When his mom comes back and says, "You were led
No,
astray.
don't.
It's okay."
Yeah, she breaks it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then it's just he's the guy. He's Aquaman, and then
He's
it's-
daddy.
He's daddy.
He's fish
and then
daddy.
of course the last moment is that now that she's free from the ocean's core, Nicole Kidman can go back to his dad, who she had to leave all those years ago, and then they kiss, and that's the end of it.
I do like that it ended on an old people romance.
Yeah.
It
Because I
did.
thought that's
This
nice.
is the story of an old lighthouse keeper finally getting laid again after 20 years.
Yeah.
He was about to go his own way.
Yeah.
But he got saved. He got saved from becoming the only alt-right out. But no,
Folks, we're bringing the lighthouse jobs back.
I think this whole thing is like
I like
written
that it
on
has
the
the
inside
dad.
of the cell of a guy who got caught fucking like a dead whale on a beach. And he's like, "No, this is what's going to happen. She fled Atlantis.
I
She will
like-
come back for me."
I like that it had a good dad.
Yes.
He's a good dad.
And he's
He
a
loves his
massive
fi-
alcoholic, but he's like a good dad. You know?
Right, yeah, he loves his fish son, who's Polynesian despite his mom being a sea Aryan
Yeah.
and him just being a regular white guy.
I think he's,
No,
I think he's Polynesian.
He's Polynesian.
The guy is Polynesian. He's in Massachusetts for some reason, but he is like he's
I don't know.
Islander.
Like looking at
He's an islander.
Okay, cool.
Having been recently reading Moby Dick, there was a weird era where New England was full of just nothing but Quakers and Polynesians.
God, can we go back to that?
Oh, right, yeah,
Oh my
he's
God,
like
it was
That,
just
that
like-
would be so much better than what it is
he's
now.
like Queequeg's
Absolutely.
ancestor, basically.
Yeah. By the
Can
way,
you imagine-
that book, so homoerotic.
Oh yeah.
No. so homoerotic. I actually want to do a public reading of the gayest parts of Moby Dick. And I'm not just talking about, I'm talking about he's like, he clasped me in a bridegroom's hold, and he just has like a fantasy. He just wants to get banged by Jason Momoa like we all do.
Well, Melvin was gay.
I do, just to put a bow on Jason Momoa's amazing dumbness, is that at the very
Perfect
end of that
dumbass.
fight scene,
Perfect benevolent dumbass.
Amber
It's
Heard
great.
is like, now you are the king of all of this mythical race. And his last line is literally along the lines of something like, looks to the left, looks to the right. This is going to fucking rock.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She says, he says, you're the king now. And he says, oh, what do I do now? And she goes, be their king. And he's like, this is going to rule.
Yeah.
And I agree. I agree.
It should, his first rule of action was to make their national anthem a fog hat song.
But this really is a story of how much like Black Panther, of how a resistance to empire is subverted from within.
Yes.
Because you can just imagine him having this, he's turning Atlantis into an all-day kegger. Meanwhile, the ocean is slowly rising in temperature.
Yes.
While they're cooking
Everything's
to death in
dying
their
and
own
being-
fucking,
and
it's
suffocating.
Like, it's like they're
Suffocating.
pounding sea beer,
Sea
and
daddy.
meanwhile, fucking like crude oil is directly going into their gills or whatever. the
dude,
fuck.
you're wrong. Can you Aquaman 2 when he takes his trident and just goes beast on Belution? That's gonna fucking.
All right.
kick
Well, I
ass.
mean, obviously, this is setting up a sequel. They all are.
yeah, where he goes beast on polluters.
I have to say, like a Captain Planet style Aquaman, where he's going beast mode on land polluters. Now that he rules the sea, that would be pretty cool.
He his villain in the second one. We didn't see if there are any bonus scenes. I frankly don't care. I'm going to see the second one. It's gonna be fine.
sight unseen.
I will see anything with Jason Momoa in it. He's just a charming
His
person.
villain in the second one is going to be Bolsonaro, who's trying to destroy
Yes,
the
dude.
Amazon, and he just takes the wrath of the ocean onto Brazil to save the Amazon.
Talk about overkill, using just the most powerful man with the best weapon and all the sea to fight the Brazilian military. Talk about overkill. They could not even beat Uruguay if they tried. They're not gonna.
I'm sorry.
They're not even gonna put up a fight against the ocean.
How do you pronounce that?
Not the right way, but this is my day. You saw my movie. This is my day.
This is the visibility day.
Yeah.
Don't fucking
Fuck
rain
off.
on his
For
parade.
dumb buff guys.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it the right way. We live in America. We won the war
I
against.
think you said Uruguay.
Uruguay and Paraguay.
Yeah, that's how you say it.
So I think this has been a triumphant year for superhero movies. I don't give a shit about the ones that happen in the first half of the year, but
Fuck those.
Venom,
This one was fun.
this one, and Into the Spider-Verse, which I saw, which is actually I had a great time.
Didn't see it. I'm gonna say Venom's better than it.
Venom is the one that I've thought about the most. And if Eddie Brock and Arthur Curry got together, they'd make an incredible pair.
Oh my God.
They would beat
because
Thanos' ass.
Eddie Brock would think he was the smart one, and Arthur Curry would think that he was the tough one,
Yep.
and they would go great together
Yep.
because they're basically the same guy.
Yeah. It would be rule. They would. Yeah. Thanos done for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Matrix finished.
They'd get
Dude,
him so wet and goopy he wouldn't know what to do.
Imagine Thanos is like doing his fucking stupid galactic speech, and Aquaman's just like, "Shut the fuck up, dude."
I don't
You're a
even know what you're
pussy.
talking
Yeah.
about, man. Again, literally a line that was happened in this movie is like a big expository speech was happening, and she was like, "All right, we got to do." And Amber Heard was like, "We got to do that," and Arthur Curry's like, I wasn't listening."
Yeah.
It's great.
It's great.
We love it.
Honestly, this was a fun, dumb movie that we all had a great time at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone should see it.
100%.
It really leans into it, and at every element.
Less of an allegory for Turkish politics than the other DC films, but maybe once Snyder gets his hands back.
Can you
on them, they'll-
believe how much better this was than Wonder Woman? Good lord.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yo, God, it's way. If anyone tells you these critics, these parvenus,
They're
if they try
called
to claim,
women.
Wonder Woman is actually great and Aquaman is stupid, you shut up. Aquaman is so much better. There's a single moment
It is.
in Wonder Woman as good as just like one shot of the fucking seahorses attacking the laser sharks.
Imagine Wonder Woman.
Oh, what? A woman wearing a tiara in a trench against a laser shark fighting a crab man?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, I'm gonna say it right now. Even the crab man could beat Wonder Woman's ass. She sucks.
Yeah.
She could
gets,
barely beat the German army.
She just makes an incredulous face and is like, "Oh no."
Yeah.
The greatest thing about the world is that the imperfections make the good part so nice. Wow, dude, that's really profound.
Should we wrap it up, guys?
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
I gotta go. I gotta.
Momoa.
Momoa.
Team Momoa.
Momoa, no problem.
Yes. I think this might be our last recorded episode of the year.
I think so.
Yeah.
I gotta go, everybody.
All right.
All right. Bye, Felix.
But we've got a special holiday treat coming up for you.
A number of them.
Look
Yeah.
forward to it. Look forward to it. I guess I'm the one saying bye now. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
They gonna have
Bye.
to deal with me.